It's another fat chick video. And man, skinny chick, man video. It's another skinny man video. It doesn't have the same ring to it like fat chick video. It messed up my song today, but we are looking at a show called Super Size versus Super Skinny. Let's go.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
This video is sponsored by me and my protein donut company and my weight loss support group. For more information, click the links below in my description, and thank you all for the support. Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, but if you're new, welcome. My name is Michelle McDaniel. I am a mother, a dog mother of 3. We dress up here, we're very dramatic here, and we talk about a numerous amount of different topics that I share my opinion on, and that will offend at least somebody on the internet because it's the internet. So for a year now, or maybe even longer than a year, I get the same person every single time I post asking me to review Super Size versus Super Skinny. And today, their request is being answered. See, when at first you don't get the topic that you've been asking for, you just keep trying, and it might happen. It is the way of the land. And I also might ignore you, but I mean, you can just keep on asking and maybe I will get to it like we are today. But he or she would always comment on every single video saying, day 50 of me asking Michelle to review Super Size versus Super Skinny. Day 63 of me asking Michelle to review Super Size versus Super Skinny. Day 90. Day 90 of me asking Michelle to review Super Size versus Super Skinny. Well, yeah, got it. You are dedicated, and now you get the gift of Super Size versus Super Skinny. But not because of the comment. What sold me was this random pop-up coming up, and it said, obsessed with cake. And one, I was like, me too. 2, I was like, huh, Super Size versus Super Skinny. Cake obsessed. That sounds so familiar. Where the hell have I heard Super Size versus Super Skinny before? I can't put my ding. And I was like, oh, that girl or boy, whoever it is, who comments every single time I post a video. So Super Size versus Super Skinny is where they look at the struggle of a very obese individual and a very non-food obsessed individual, usually thin. And they swap their poor diets. And then they talk about how each new diet is really hard and they don't understand how each person is living. And I'm watching like, I don't understand how any of y'all are living. So in this episode, 24 stone or 334 pound Laura will be swapping with 8 stone or 112 pound Jake.
You're really tiny compared to me.
I know, quite a shock actually, I must admit. You're quite a large woman.
Oh, her face just reminds me of the people, because being muscular, people make comments about my body all the time, which I don't mind when they're nice. When they're rude, it's kind of rude, but I personally love compliments on my body. I know some people say you aren't supposed to say anything about anyone's body. I don't think that's realistic. Anyway, not the point. I just remember when I got muscular, and then bigger people would always comment on my body, and the ongoing comment was,
well, I don't want to look like you.
and I would say, I don't want to look like you either. And then they'd make that face because I commented on their body, and then I'm the rude one, honey. Not saying that this woman's offended, but her facial expression after that comment reminded me of past individuals who would make that comment toward me.
The first thought coming to my head was, you're really skinny.
I was shocked when I got paired with Laura. I was just taken back by how big she was. So what's your diet like?
Crisps and chocolate.
And that's it, crisps, which I think is chips in like American language. I'm thinking crisp is chips or fries. Either one that it is, crisps or fries. I love both, and they both are unhealthy, and they both are very high in calories for a very small portion. The next thing that she is extremely obsessed with is chocolate. So her whole diet is pretty much chips and chocolate, a diet built for the gods, at least in the fat positivity world. So I can pretty much guess what her diet is just by looking at her. What I'm very curious to hear is what the thin guy's diet is, because we're always focused on the fat people. I wanna hear the unhealthy skinny person.
Energy drinks, I drink a lot of them.
I'm definitely gonna struggle.
Yeah, I think you might, I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Oh, he's spicy. He's a spicy thin guy. Why did they just zoom in on her gut? Also, something that I noticed, a lot of my, not a lot, but many like thinner, like very, very thin people, because he's a very thin guy, just very thin people, just don't like to eat.
It's gonna be fun, not eating a lot.
I think it's gonna be hard for her to control that hunger. But for me, it's going to be hard to stomach it.
Like their diet is just made up of energy drinks and that's it. I would die. And then, which is also weird because they don't really eat any food for sustenance, they just drink all their calories. They're like little energetic chihuahuas. I would know, I've got two. But then they're weak as hell, just like shaky and weak, but energized. I don't know, I don't understand it. I do not understand how you can just thrive off of energy drinks. So then they go to a feeding clinic to help them show what they are doing wrong with their diet. But even though they are different in size, they both have something very much in common. They both love sugar. Jake, who has most of his calories from energy drinks, he also, like the only thing that he eats is mostly just like a small sugar treat and candy. But obviously he's under consuming and very malnourished. And Laura, who also loves sugar, but she is overly consuming. Actually, she's probably not nourished or has all the vitamins and all the other things that she needs because she's eating very empty calories.
Mother of one, Laura from Kettering, is only 23 years old, yet already weighs more than her age.
She's 23? I know it's rude to do, but how old would you think that this woman was just by looking at her? I would think that she was at least my age, in her 30s or older. Not 23. 23 is basically 20. Shit. Dang, that's just shows what a unhealthy diet can do for you. Same with, you know, the other spectrum of being super thin, it also ages you. Being obese and eating unhealthy also ages you.
And the main culprit for her ballooning weight, her addiction to all things sweet.
So not only does Laura love chocolate, she overeats chocolate, she eats chocolate in the mornings, but something else that she absolutely loves is cake. Among everything else. The girl loves food.
Crisps, biscuits, cake, pasties, sweets. It's nice to just have a little pig out.
So she's basically a binger. She overeats on food. She probably finds comfort in food. She says that she has a binge eating disorder. And girl, it is 2022. You can change that now. You can easily change that to anorexia and say that, go on TikTok, get a following. You know, like, could you imagine if someone who was her size and openly eats on social media claims that they have anorexia and they struggle to eat, even though they're eating right there on their TikTok? Just imagine, that'd be wild, huh? By the way, guys, if you're gonna yell at me and tell me that obese people can struggle with anorexia, yeah, I know. I made a whole video on it. I'll link it below so you can watch it.
One of my favourite things to make is a London pizza. Cheese and tomato pizza, chips, and garlic mayonnaise.
All right, I'm gonna expose myself. Some of y'all are grossed out by this, but Laura, cheat day, I'm gonna come see you because this looks good. I love mayo. Mayo with french fries I love. Mayo with french fries on top of pizza. So basically when Laura was younger, she got bullied. She looked different than everyone else. She was not thin. She was always kind of on the bigger side, which led to bullying, which led to being insecure, and then she found comfort in food. She would also hide her eating from her family and eat in secret.
I'd probably eat my snacks either on the way home from school or in my room so they wouldn't know I was eating it.
And apparently it carried into her adult years, as it usually does. And the moment that her husband, who is thin, leaves for work, she just sprints on. She just probably slowly walks to the kitchen and gets a tray full of treats.
There has been times when I've come home from work and I've actually found all the wrappers and things. It definitely causes friction.
So she also has kids, and she says that she wants to lose weight so that she can actually play with them, be with them, go outside with them, take a walk with them, actually do things with them, because the weight is really hindering her mobility.
Being mum to 18-month-old Alfie, Laura's biggest fear is what lies ahead for both her future and for her sons.
She literally has no energy and just sits on the couch for most of the day.
I just want to be able to run around with him and play with him, but I mean, I haven't got the energy to do that. It's just heartbreaking, really.
Y'all, I just noticed that they put for her backdrop pizza and cake for the fat girl. What are they gonna have for energy drink and Skinny McGee? Nothing, just a desert in the background, because he literally eats nothing, ever.
The opposite is true of our super skinny. In Leeds, 18-year-old black belt kickboxer Jake weighs in at 8 stone 2.
Oh, Jake works out. I didn't expect him to work out, to be completely honest. Like I said, a lot of those thin people, I just feel like they're just so fragile that they can't be kickboxing and hitting stuff.
Training up to 5 times a week, Jake dreams of becoming a professional kickboxer.
That's why he probably gets so much energy drinks. He doesn't really seem to like to eat food, and then the energy drinks is not food. Plus it gives him energy because he was probably lacking it, wants to work out, has no energy. What can you do? Energy drink.
But instead of eating like a champion, he survives on a sugary liquid diet.
I see this a lot, actually. People who don't like to eat just thrive off the energy drinks. Weirdest thing, wackiest thing, oddest thing. I personally would not be able to live or function on either of these people's diets.
I don't really eat breakfast. I'll just have like an energy drink because it fills me up and removes the need to eat.
Consuming as many as 6 cans every day, Jake's riding an eternal sugar roller coaster and is relying on these drinks to sustain his energy levels.
And what's with him is he's so young. As he ages, he's going to have to keep adding more and more caffeine and sugar to his diet to be able to get more energy, because when you drink energy drinks every single day, you get used to it. It doesn't give you that buzz that it usually would once you were not used to it. You build a tolerance.
When Jake can be bothered to eat, he likes to keep things plain and simple.
My favourite snack is bagel top. You've got jam and a layer of icing.
Ugh. What the was that? What the hell's up with these camera angles? I cannot stand watching people eat or close-ups of their like teeth and like food going in their mouth. Ugh, gross. We're gonna zip through this one.
Jake's weight has always been a worry for him.
There's never been a time in my life where I've been happy with my weight. I've always been skinny. I've been bullied. School was terrible. Obviously, I was smaller than everyone else. It did kind of affect me, and people used that to get at me.
That's super sad, because I see a lot of people in the body positive movement, or maybe I should say the fat positive movement, that say,
There's no such thing as skinny shaming. You guys would never get us bullied as hard as us fat women.
I almost want to say to anyone that says that, F you. I have had people in tears from just the comments that they get publicly from random people all the time, every single day, about their weight, and they're extremely insecure about it. They don't really love food. They don't know how to eat more like nutrient-dense food or calorie-dense food to get their weight up, and they just feel stuck. Very similar to an obese person who does not have the education on foods that are lower in calories, but also to feel full. Both people are like struggling the same way, but then there's those people that say, no, skinny shaming isn't real. Yes, it is. I've been around my skinny friends where random people will come up and like go around their arm and be like, you need to eat a burger. Jake seems very affected by the bullying that he got that went with his body. So before they both meet at the food clinic, the doctor sends Laura to Missouri to meet big ol' Betsy. Betsy is an over 400-pound mom that is pretty much immobile. She walks a bit, but her mobility is very, very low and deteriorating. And the doctor pretty much says, hey, Laura, you and Betsy, you know, the bigger woman that's bigger than you, but probably you're gonna get to her size soon, you guys have something in common. You both love chocolate.
I love chocolate. Sometimes that chocolate just like makes everything in the world go away. If I'm having a really stressful day, eating just makes it all better.
This is your future. So Betsy's mobility, like I said, is very low. All of her family members have to help her, especially her son, which is basically her caregiver.
He carries things for me, he does things for me. I'll hear myself yell, Matt, can you come help me? Matthew, can you do this? Matthew, Matthew, Matthew. I mean, it's my job to take care of him, not his job to take care of me.
So like I said in other videos, I never really watch this type of content. I only watch it for you guys because you guys seem to really enjoy it and you ask me to, so I do it. I do everything that people tell me. Anything you tell me to do, I just do it. Anyway, but I see many comments saying, I love this kind of content. I love watching this kind of stuff because it helps me stick to my healthy eating. It motivates me to move more. It motivates me to walk and just be exercising and stretching and keep my mobility. I do not want to end up like big old Betsy on the couch having my son bring me anything. And the more I watch these things, yeah, I see what you guys are talking about, because watching this makes me want to just go, I just need to do some jumping jacks real quick. I don't want to end up like that, do you? I'm serious. Tell me in the comment section, fat positive people, y'all want to end up like that?
He carries things for me, he does things for me.
That's what sounds good, because she ain't said nothing positive about being fat. Let's see if Laura thinks that this life is appealing.
Hello, hi, I'm Betsy, how are you? Gotta have that chocolate. Chocolate. It's a shock when you see someone who's a lot bigger than you.
Yeah, I don't think she's feeling it.
I've never really met anyone bigger than me.
Well, if you keep on with that cake, girl, and chocolate, and everything else, you and Betsy gonna be twinsies.
What's your child's name?
Alfie.
My son, he helps me clean my house. He helps me get dressed sometimes. Is that what you want Alfie to do with you?
No, don't want him to have to help me do anything.
How do you think Alfie would feel if you couldn't ever pick him up again because you weren't here?
Damn, Betsy, she getting real. And it's a good thing. But honestly, what is Betsy gonna do for her weight? Or is she just fine being the way that she is? It all clearly bothers her. She doesn't, love it, but is she just kind of over it? Is she gonna go to the clinic too? Because I think she needs to go as well. So then they go outside and Laura still has the ability to stand for quite some time, but Miss Betsy does not.
Matthew, will you grab my pillow?
Yeah.
Not fun, right, Laura?
I don't really want Alfie to get things for me. I want to be able to do it myself.
Get on it, girl. It's a shock, huh? Whenever I go back home, and I haven't been there in a very long time, not back home, but back to like where most of my family lives in Washington, it's such a wake-up call when I go back because everybody's just sitting. There's like imprints of very big, you guys think my butt is big, very big butt cheeks like in the couch from just how heavy people are. Medication everywhere. Along with medication on this side, there's whole chocolate cakes and fried chicken and everything else and all these sugary snacks on this side. Everybody's breathing heavy. Honey, it is a wake up call. So then Big Betsy says, let's get dinner. We can walk, as in y'all can walk. I'ma roll on in to Cappuccino's restaurant to meet some friends.
I see how out of breath you get when you're walking. And it is a concern that your health issues.
Fat phobic. How dare she worry about her friend and her health? This isn't helpful at all. What would help her is if she just ordered another whole plate of mashed potatoes and said, here, please eat this. I know you have an issue. You're breathing heavy and you're pretty much immobile, and your son has to constantly help you and get you a pillow for your rascal because your back hurts. That is love. Influencing bad behavior.
I mean, I'm no skinny mini either, so I can just imagine the struggles that you have.
Internalized fat phobia. That's what we call that, internalized fat phobia. Where is the fat positive? Why don't the fat positive movement ever watch shows like this? I just would love to be a fly on the wall and just watch them get triggered the whole time and just do those constant and then at the end, they're just so like frazzled from all the mental trauma they just endured of showing the realities of obesity. So then they go back home to Big Betsy's house and they just pull out all the medication that she needs.
Or there's serious health problems that come from years of comfort eating.
Goodness me, look at that.
Well,
So like I said, my family members had so much medication. Whenever we went back home, I just thought it was normal. And the ongoing thing was, oh, this is what happens when we get older, as they like eat a whole cake, which they did. I'm not exaggerating. Whole cakes be eaten. I've eaten a whole cake before. It's very easy.
This is a diabetic medication. Blood pressure pill here.
I constantly have heartburn, indigestion.
Very strong painkiller.
I take it 3
Y'all, look at her face. She's rethinking that plate of chocolate she eats every morning for breakfast.
times a day for the pain in my knees, my legs, and my back.
No, that has no connection to your obesity. Just some people have pain in their back, that's all. Anyone can have bad knees. I know because some lady on TikTok said that, and I'm going to believe it to make myself feel better. Okay, that was sarcasm for anyone that doesn't know, but I love this show. But now it's time for the skinny guy.
Your diet is so deficient in everything. I cannot believe you've got the energy to put in any training at all.
I'm extremely surprised too. I could not function on just liquid. I need a high volume diet with lots of water. I need the liquid because if I feel any hunger, I will just crumble. It's always crazy to see how other people eat. Just another backstory. I talk a lot. Oh well, it's my channel. But I was staying with a friend and I was really young at this time and she was really skinny. And I stayed over at our house overnight and her mom brought us donuts. That was great. One per person. I could have eaten more, but one per person, and we ate that and then we went on doing our thing and then we started going to bed and I was like, so when's dinner? And she dead ass looks at me and says, Michelle, we ate a donut. Light turns off and we go to sleep and my stomach's like, I was like, shit, that's why she's skinny. She eats a donut and goes to sleep. Anyway, time for these two to swap diets. So for Laura, she usually eats a bunch of scrambled eggs, 4 slices of buttered toast, 2 bowls of chips, a chocolate bar, and 1 cupcake. And to be completely honest, I don't think this is completely accurate. I think she eats a little bit more than this. You're gonna tell me that she, Laura, who is obsessed with cake, eats 1 cupcake? Honey, do you know how many cupcakes that I can eat? They trick you because they make them small, so you eat 1, you're like, I just had 1. might as well eat another one. And I could eat a whole tray of cupcakes, which then adds up to a whole ass cake. And to be completely honestly honest, I could eat this whole thing that they just showed us right now with like how I eat, you know, right now and healthy and everything like that. And I would still be hungry because it has no nutritional value. The eggs kind of do. I'm sure she put butter in there. That's what, come on, that's what fat people do. Every single fat person puts butter in their eggs. You hear that, my adorable fat watchers who are saying, I don't put butter in my eggs. Yes, you do, because I did. And everyone is just like me, okay? That's how the internet works. I swear some of y'all don't get sarcasm, and if that's you, then you're mad right now. For no reason, oh God. Scrambled eggs with butter is good, but super high in calories, and eggs absolutely never fill me up. With just eggs, they just don't do much for me. I need other stuff with it. Not buttered toast, but just other things. These foods probably wouldn't fill most people up, at least most people who have the same appetite as me. We need a lot of low-calorie foods in high quantity so that it fills up our whole stomach. This is just a plethora of high-calorie foods in a high amount of portions. And then what is Jake's food? An energy drink.
Gets to sample a glass of Jake's favourite beverage.
So what am I drinking?
It's an energy drink.
That is pretty much how I would look.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
Well, it doesn't really taste that nice.
Yep, it ain't no toast with butter. So then they start the feast, at least, well, in Laura's case, she starts drinking. That sucks. But Jake is obviously not feeling this. He does not like this. He's not used to this much food.
It was appalling to see how much she eats. I mean, chocolate. Like, why would you have chocolate for breakfast?
Why would you just have an energy drink for breakfast, Jake? This is all crazy to me. You're all just crazy people.
That was a shock, just having a drink, no food. I don't know how we can get through the day.
So after their meal, they go like relax and they get ready for their next meal. Apparently Laura didn't eat nothing after that energy drink because I most definitely would have eaten something. There's absolutely no way that I would be able to just drink an energy drink when I never had energy drinks. She's making it seem that she doesn't drink energy drinks on a regular basis. And usually when someone new has energy drinks, don't they have some kind of like weird effect sometimes, or it's too much? She's literally having like a full energy drink, or did they like change the amount of caffeine? I don't know. So I wouldn't be able to do that. I would be going to eat. Fuck that experiment. I need food. Anyway, they meet for lunch and Laura has a plate of fries and chicken strips and a burger and a chicken fajita.
Washed down by the only healthy part of the meal, a pint of water.
It's absolutely terrible. It tastes disgusting.
And what does Jake have? You guessed it. Energy drink. But he also has a small bowl of
plain pasta,
which is really gross. Just plain boiled pasta. No seasoning, no nothing, just plain noodles.
That pasta was really, really disgusting. It was really, really bland. It was dry. I couldn't eat anymore.
That's probably a good thing for her and her size. Smaller portions, not able to eat. That's probably very good. She could handle knocking down a couple calories. I'm just kidding, you guys. You don't have to starve yourself that much or at all. But reduced portion size for Laura would be really good without having all that sauce. Because what I've noticed is a lot of my family members, they constantly eat so much because they add so much sauces, all the seasoning, salt, all these things that doesn't trigger to the brain to stop eating. So they just take food and they just load it up with all of these things, and then they don't stop. So then the doctor brings Jake outside and he has these figurines where they have like different stages of a average sized man and how many calories they're supposed to eat at each stage. And he says, hey, choose which one that you think you eat the closest to.
I want you to think about how much you eat and place yourself where you think your calorie intake equates to.
Which will be extremely interesting to see because usually people never know how much they're eating.
All right, so you've put yourself next to the 5-year-old boy. Are you sure? Okay.
And he still got it wrong. In fact, he doesn't eat like any of the figures. He's eating way below a freaking crawling baby.
1,800. Oh. 1,200? No. Jake, you're eating 750 calories a day.
Oh my God.
He's literally off the board. And this just shows why I think counting calories is very important for pretty much anyone that is having weight issues, underweight or overweight. It doesn't matter. It just, you wanna see what you're putting in your body so that you can fix the issue. And it's always the same. When I was training with people, when I would get a skinny client trying to put on weight, they would say, I eat so much, but I can't put on weight. It's just my genetics. And then I would get someone that was obese and say, I don't eat that much really, and I just can't lose weight. It's just my genetics. And I would have both people keep a food journal, and they would both see why they're in the state that they're in. You're eating too much, you're not eating enough. So then another reality check for Jake and his liquid calories.
27 litres of energy drinks you drink a month. That is 324 litres a year.
And a lot of money and a lot of sugar.
But now for the killer ingredient, sugar.
36 kilos a year.
So 50% of Jake's daily intake is just sugar, pure sugar. And isn't it interesting that he's not obese, but he's under eating and still extremely unhealthy? He's basically intaking empty calories, they have no nutritional value, and he's lacking in protein, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which causes a lot of fatigue. As he was aging, he probably was not eating as much as he was supposed to be eating, or is very like, you know, those kids that are very fidgety type eaters, they just don't like food for some reason, and their parents just kind of like, well, do your thing. And he was probably getting more tired and more tired. Well, what can he do? Drink an energy drink. So then he gets onto that whole routine, and now that's just pretty much what his whole intake is. And he found that it gave him energy, and then what else gives him energy? Little boosts of the little treat that he would eat because of the sugar, and then that's just his whole diet.
This is something called a macroglossia.
Ew.
It's a big tongue, and it's red and it's inflamed.
Nasty.
And it's really sore.
Oh my God, stop talking.
Okay, this is pretty much why I don't watch these shows, because I know they're gonna show me something nasty, and I don't need to know, or I don't need to see these things to know that I need to eat healthy. I get that it helps you guys, but this is the reason why I don't watch, because I'm very squeamish. But this is the reality if you are not eating healthy and getting the nutrients that you need.
So this person's not getting enough iron in their diet, which you are not.
Damn, so if you do not take care of that, you get the lumpy tongue. Pops iron pills and eats a steak. Ooh, and then they show some nasty other things of the reality of not getting the type of nutrients that you need. And I'm not going to show you it because it's gross. It was pretty much a weird goopy finger with yellow pus coming out. So now it's time for him to eat like Laura for dinner. I'm not too sure how he's gonna do that. He was already grossed out by the food. And then the doctor showed him lumpy tongue and pus finger. How is he gonna eat that now? So we all know what Laura's gonna get before bed, but Jake, my boy, he gets Laura's 5-star prime and favorite cuisine. Her triple-decker London pizza.
That is one of my favourite meals.
I think the pizza's like enough as it is, and then to have the chips as well, and the cheese and the mayo is like a lot.
Laura hungry. She real hungry. Look at her face while she has to sit there and watch him eat her favorite meal while she drinks a glass that looks like pee. I'm hungry. Y'all, I'm just saying, this looks good to me. Who would eat this? At least try it. Not every single day, but I mean, I would try it.
And for Laura, it's yet another energy drink.
It's the last thing I need is more energy drinks. I'm starting to wonder how he survives on energy drinks because I'm not doing so well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either. So for the second day, Laura finally gets food with an energy drink, but she gets a sweet tart and then washes it down with an energy drink. Jake gets a cream-covered chocolate gato, plate of chips, gummy bears, and whatever those things are on the plate.
This is a dessert, not like a breakfast.
And it just keeps getting worse for Jake. For lunch, he gets barbecue chicken, french fries, onion rings, 3 fizzy drinks this time, caramel slices, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slabs of chocolate.
It's a chicken and vegetable curry, and of course, that ever-present energy drink.
But the curry sounds good for Laura. At least she gets food. So then that's that. They finish their experiences with each other's very extreme diets, and the doctor sets them up with a diet plan. Jake's calories are up to 2,700 calories, 3 meals a day, no energy drinks apparently. Not sure how he's going to just like cut that out. I heard it takes a while to cut out energy drinks, and energy drinks are 50% of his diet. So I'm not too sure how, like, do they just cold turkey? And for snacks are slow release carbs so you don't crash, nuts and dried fruits. So I honestly love Laura's diet. They put her on a 2,200 calorie diet. Not this whole, oh, you weigh about 300 pounds and you eat around 5,000, 6,000 calories a day. Cool, let's just strip your calories and throw you into a 1,500 calorie diet. So then they go home and then they come back for the reunion and to see how they did. And Jake has a very cool new do.
I've cut out the energy drinks altogether.
So they're just gone.
they're completely gone.
Like he just quit the energy drink.
Really? So my little lesson in energy drinks had an effect?
Yeah, that was a wake-up call for me.
It's like it was 50% of his diet and just zero energy drink. His reason for existing was energy drinks and sugar, and he just like gone like that. How long is it between these reunion things? Because apparently he has more energy than ever.
I feel really good. I'm not tired all the time. I've got more energy to do things of the day. I'm spending my day more productively now.
But what about food then?
My portion sizes have tripled.
Okay, well that's all great. Let's see how Laura's doing.
Healthy things, really. Less chocolate, not the huge chocolate bars. I'm having probably just a small little mini chocolate bar.
Good, and now you're not missing it, but you're not gorging on it as much.
Yes, that's what it's all about, people. You do not have to cut out the foods that you love. You just have to reduce it. Reduce it and have the majority of your food be healthy, calorie controlled. Milk, that's how you are able to sustain a diet. That's how diets actually work. The ones that don't work are the ones that you just take away every single thing. If you love food, why are you cutting out every single food? I never got it. Anyway, good tip.
What about the secret eating?
That stopped.
Honestly, I like the show. I do. But they make it sound very, very easy when they go home. Like they just did it.
Completely?
Yeah. I'm just sticking to 3 meals a day now.
Like it just seems just so simple for them.
I'm not sitting at home bored and eating now. Go take my son out to the park.
This is like on The Biggest Loser. It was extremely hard. They were at a ranch for a few months, right? And then they go home and they still struggled a bit because they're out of that comfort zone. These guys went to a 2-day little experiment and then thrown back home with a whole new diet. Pretty much just morphed their whole normal routine and they just stuck to it. These are some prime clients that I would want.
And that's because you've put on a whacking 10 pounds in weight. 10 pounds.
How long has it been where he gained 10 pounds?
You have lost over a stone. 1 stone, 1 pound, which is fantastic.
So according to Google, let me know if I'm wrong, I'll always do, but that's 14 pounds. How long has it been? It seems like it was not that long. But also someone her size could lose 14 pounds in a very small amount of days. She was eating a lot of calories and then brought it, lower. So that's more believable, but 10 pounds for Jake, I don't know if I believe that, depending on how long it's been. But that's awesome that they got results. I'm still confused at the time, but they end the whole thing with a dance session. And that's that. I enjoyed this show. Thank you so much, person that always would comment on my videos, for having me watch it. I'll probably watch it in the future again and we can talk about it together. Yeah, good show. Jolly good show, I must say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you do not have to be a size 2. Having big biceps is great to have to scare away all the boys, but not needed to be healthy. But health is very important, and this show just proves it. And it also proves that the fat positive movement is done. Okay, bye guys.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums.